1999 as amended, on Nigeria's foreign policy objectives. And with your imprimatur, Mr. Speaker, sir, I shall read. The foreign policy objectives of Nigeria shall be promotion and protection of national interest, promotion of African integration and support for the African unity, promotion of international cooperation for the consolidation of universal peace and mutual respect amongst all nations and elimination of discrimination, respect for international law, promotion of a just world economic order, etc., etc., etc. Mr. Speaker, sir, I shall also recall that Mr. President in his inaugural speech stated, and I quote Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, where he said that Nigeria shall be willing to serve in any leadership position she finds herself in the Committee of Nations. Mr. Speaker, after the Gambian election conundrum, there's been a lot of attempts by African leaders, West African leaders, to go to Gambia and seek a peaceful resolution of the issue in the Gambia. Mr. Speaker, sir, let us not forget that whatever happens in the sub-region lies solely at the foot of Nigerians to solve, since we are the regional leaders. Of course, Mr. President, in trying to lay the budget, said to us that he had to give other West African presidents lifts on his way back, and that underscores the leadership position that Nigeria holds in the sub-region as well as in the region. Mr. Speaker, there's a lot of concern around the world about the democracy, aside from what is happening in the Gambia, but democracy in Africa as a whole. And there's fear that this trend, if left unchecked, is one that could infect other African leaders. And when it is time for them to leave, they will have the sit-tight mentality. Mr. Speaker, I support this motion to the extent that you cannot, what we are trying to do at this point in time is create a soft landing for Yahya J. Give him alternatives so that he relinquishes, does the right thing, but we don't also throw him under the bus, because we're all African brothers, and as leaders, we must provide the alternatives for him. And so I'm sure that the African Union, as well as ECOWAS and other African leaders, are seeking other solutions to this problem. But in seeking solutions to this problem, we should also proffer alternatives to the person to give him a soft landing. And I think that since Nigeria has always been customarily generous to all African leaders, that if that is what it comes to, should he find an open window for him to leave Gambia so that there is conflict resolution, so that that country does not degenerate into yet another unstable African country that has the potential of affecting Nigeria and the rest of the West African region, then I think that if that is what we can do, which is something that we have always done as the big brothers of the sub-region and the leaders of the sub-region, I think that we need to lend support to Mr. President to give him that, because I know that we have done it in the past, and it is one way out for them, so that there is peace in the Gambia and we retain our leadership position in the sub-region. I so submit. Thank you.